Hello students, today we are going to do the poem of class 11 from Hornbill titled The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. The poem The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman signifies the eternal role that the rain plays in nurturing, quenching and purifying the various elements of earth. The rain returns the favor to its place of origin from where it rises unseen from the depths of the water and from the land. The rain itself is explaining to the reader about its origin, work, and its cyclic movement. A comparison has also been drawn between rain and music, as both of them make the world more lively and returns to their place of origin after fulfilling their purpose. Now let us read the poem line wise. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell gave me an answer, as here translated, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. So here the poet, he asks the rain to give its introduction and disclose its identity. So, once there was a soft shower of rain. Soft falling means dropping softly. And who art thou? Thou means you. So, as I said, the poem, it begins with the poet asking for the identity of the soft falling rain shower. And second line says, which strange to tell, means it was much to the surprise of the poet that he got an answer from the rain. He says the rain, it replied to his question, and which the poet translated for his readers. How the poet is able to translate it? Because only his poetic sensibility could comprehend what the rain said. Means his poetic senses, they were able to understand what the rain said, and that is why he says that he has translated it for us. As we all know that rain has a soothing effect. It's pit-pat rather than being jarring. Pit-pat means the falling of the raindrop, the sound is welcome to the ears. That is why the poet has called it soft falling shower. The next line says that I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. So here the rain in its own voice tells the poet that she is the poem of this earth. She is the poem of this earth. The rain is trying to say that as music or poetry gives pleasure to human beings, the rain gives happiness to Mother Earth. Or in other words, as you know, poetry is characterized by music and rhythm. It has power to soothe, heal, rejuvenate, transform, and thrill. All these qualities are in rain also. So, appropriately, rain calls itself poem of earth. Let's move further. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. Eternal means everlasting, impalpable, unable to be felt by touching. Bottomless means very deep. Upwards towards a higher level. Whence means from where. Vaguely means unclearly, and formed means made into a specific shape or form. What the poet wants to say over here is, the poet says that the rain is an eternal process. It rise impalpable. It rise impalpable means no one can feel or touch it when it is rising. Impalpable, I told you that it cannot be touched. So it says that I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Out of the land, of course, you have seen vapors rising from the surface of land and also from the sea. Bottomless means very deep. So from the depth of the sea, the rain, it says that it rises from the land. Impalpable means it is not perceived, it is not uh, it rises me from the surface of the earth, an ocean unperceived by the onlookers. Why it is unperceived? Why it is not visible? Why it is intangible? Because of its vaporous nature, because it is in the form of vapor. That is why it says that it rises impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. And where it rises? It rises upward. Upward means towards the sky, towards the heaven. Vaguely means unclearly formed. So it takes a very vague shape. It takes it gets into a form of intangible or indistinct shape. Indistinct shape means not like you can say the uh, particular shapes, or a circle or a square or a rectangle, but it is vaguely formed and it takes the shape in the form of clouds. So we all know about the water cycle, how it rises from the surface of water from the land and it moves towards the sky. There the process of condensation takes place and the water vapors, they changes into clouds and then it falls back in the form of rain. So this water cycle, each one of us has studied in our lower classes. So this is water cycle, but in the poetic form. So here it says, rain says that in the form of water vapor, it rises from the surface of land and bottomless sea, and it is not visible, or it cannot be felt by the onlookers, and it rises towards the heaven where it vaguely form, means it takes an indistinct shape and changes in the form of clouds. And then it says altogether changed and yet the same. This line or these words, they are very important. See, it is saying that altogether changed. The word change is also there, and then it says yet the same. The word same is also means there is no change. It is saying change is there, but still it says that yet the same. So what it wants to say over here, that it changes, although it changes in its form of shape, its core matter remains the same. Means since vapor and clouds contain water, they can get transformed into the other. Or I would say that the core element, that is water, that is, it remains the same. Means from vapors, from where do they get formed? Obviously from the water. Then clouds, they are also made up of vapors, and vapors are made up of water. So shape has changed, but the core element, it remains the same. The core matter, that is, it is the water. So basically both of them have the core matter, that is water. So that is why it says that altogether change, means it has changed into different shapes from the water vapor to the clouds. but yet the same, because the core element from which they have transformed it is water. And here, when you have two contradictory or two opposite ideas put together, the poetic device used here is oxymoron. So in the lines altogether changed and yet the same, the poetic device used here is oxymoron, because two contradictory words or two opposite words have been put here together, that is changed and same. I hope it is clear to you. So in these lines what we read, that rain said that it is an eternal process and it takes different forms at different times. It rises from the land and the deep sea in the form of intangible water vapor and goes up to the sky, and there it takes an indistinct shape in the form of clouds. Next. Further it says, I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only latent unborn. Here let us see the word meaning. Descend means move or fall downwards. Lave means wash. Droughts means dry spells, or you can say the dry areas, dry lands. Atomies, very tiny particles. Globe, earth. Latent, dormant, inactive, or you can say hidden. So what rain says in these lines, it says, I descend to lave the draughts, means it pours down or it falls down from above to wash away draughts, to wash away dryness. Atomies means very tiny particles, and dust layers of the globe mean the dust layer that is enveloping earth or enveloping globe. So it says that it returns to earth as little droplets, and these droplets, the rain, droplets of rain, what they do, they wash away the dust and rejuvenate the drought ridden dry land, means the dry land which is dry and which has lost its vitality and its beauty. The rain, it washes that dryness and gives back life to it. It also washes the very tiny particles that are there on the surface, and of course the dust layers of the globe, means the dust layers that is enveloping or that is covering the earth, that is also being washed away by the rain. Then it says, and all that in them without me were seeds only latent unborn. Then it says that it also satisfies the thirst of the dry earth and heals everything that is degrading and is lying lifeless, and also it helps in the germination of seeds which were lying dormant due to a dry spell, means new plants, they find life which would have otherwise remained hidden and unborn inside the land as mere seeds. So what we have understood in these two lines, that the raindrops, they fall downwards to wash the droughts, the atomies, the dust layer of the earth, and basically it satisfies the thirst of the dry earth and also heals and rejuvenates everything that is degrading and is lying lifeless. The showers remove the dust particles and make earth clean and green, and also it helps in germination of seeds which were lying dormant due to a dry spell, or which would have remained hidden and unborn inside the land as mere seeds if there was no rainfall. Now what it says in the last two lines. It says that, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. So rain, it is involved in a continued process of giving life on earth by providing water to dormant seeds and making the earth more beautiful and full of greenery. Rain, it also helps in enhancing the beauty of earth, as in the absence of water, everything turns dull or lifeless and dust accumulates everywhere. You must have observed before the rainy season that everything is covered with dust, everything turns dull, or you can say lifeless. Trees also loses their energy or their greenery. I mean, earth, it looks completely dried up. Everywhere you feel dust, but when rain comes, it washes it, it nourishes it, it quenches its thirst, it satisfies its thirst, and helps in enhancing the beauty of earth and makes it more beautiful and full of greenery. So basically, it is a perpetual cyclic lifestyle which ensures that the rain returns to its origin, the earth, giving it life and making it pure and beautiful. So this is about the rain, what it said to the question of the poet when poet asked rain, who art thou, means who are you, and this was the answer that was given to the poet, that what she does, how firstly how it rises towards the sky, how it takes a different shape, and then how it comes down to earth and how it works on the earth, how it gives life to the earth, to the plants, to the trees, how it makes the earth beautiful and removes the dryness, removes the dullness from the earth. Now we have two lines which the poet has put in brackets. Why these lines have been put into bracket? These lines have been put into bracket because these lines are the afterthoughts. Afterthoughts means they are not related to the poem, but these were the thoughts that came to poet's mind after this conversation with the rain. So he has put these words in the bracket, and here he has drawn a parallelism between rain and music. And what he says over here, uh, firstly what the line says, that for song issuing means starting from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering means moving from one place to another, regged or unregged means cared or uncared, means paid attention or not paid attention, duly with love returns, means duly means properly or rightly it returns to the poet. So here in the last two lines, they are the poet's own words and his reflections upon the answers given by the rain. And poet observes that the life of rain is similar to that of a song. A song or poem is creativity at its best. It has the power to calm, heal, rejuvenate, transform, and thrill. In the same way, repeated evaporation and condensation purifies the rain. The entire environment gets drenched in the rain, dust particles settle down, and there is greenery everywhere, which makes the whole earth beautiful to look at. The poet here therefore draws a parallel between rain and music, as both have rhythm and ability to thrill. Both of them rejuvenate and beautify life. So this is what he has said here, and that is why he has compared rain to the music. Now let us see the poetic devices used in the poem. Firstly, I would say the first poetic device used in the poem is personification. Personification, how personification? Because the poet has personified rain by asking it a question, and who art thou? And it is, I mean, it was very strange that the rain replied, and it has called itself at number of places, like that I am the poem of earth, I rise impalpable, I descend, I give back life to my own origin. So here poet has transformed rain into a living being, hence the poetic device personification. Then we have poetic device metaphor. Metaphor is used here in the words when it says, I am the poem of earth. The poet uses metaphor to compare how the rain leaves the ground to come back to the ground, giving back to it, much like a person who leaves its home only to come back after fulfilling its journey. And also, as I told you, that the way the poetry is characterized, in the same way the rain also has the qualities of soothing, healing and rejuvenating and thrilling. That is why it says that I am the poem of earth, and it has directly made a comparison to the earth. So the poetic device used here is metaphor. Then there is a poetic device called parallelism. Parallelism is used in the last two lines, where the poet has drawn a parallel between the rain and the song. Then you have next poetic device, hyperbole. Hyperbole means when you have something exaggerating, like here bottomless sea is an example of hyperbole. Here the poet, he describes sea as bottomless, which is an exaggerated statement to bring out the desired effect, means to tell that to tell us the depth of the sea, to tell us that how deep is the sea, but it is too much exaggerated over here. Then you have imagery in the first line of the poem, where it says soft falling shower, which gives us an image of gentle rain or drizzle. During the dialogue between the poet and the rain, it creates an image of showers or drops of water falling down from the heaven to earth and infusing it with greenery, purity and beauty. And the next one, it is oxymoron, which I have already discussed. It is used in the line altogether changed and yet the same, and I told you that it means that uh, as I said, that the poem, it is based on rain talking to the poet, and it says that altogether change, it refers to the concept of rain formation. What is it? It is evaporation, it is condensation, and then it is precipitation. Means water evaporates to form vapor and changes to cloud. So it takes different form, but the core element, that is water, it remains the same. So the clouds and water vapors, they are the two different forms of water, and they have completely changed. Means water vapors are different, and then they altogether changed into clouds, but still at the root, at the base, what are they? That is a form of water. So these are the poetic devices that have been here. You can take the screenshot of it, when you want to write it in your notebooks. So I hope this poem is clear to you, but still if you feel any doubt or any problem in it, you can ask me in the group. So that's all for this poem. Thank you.